I'm Dr. Vasavi Acharya, an edupreneur, member of the forum, and the host for today's event to commemorate International Women's Day. Well, we believe that every day is Women's Day, and CII IWN has as its members many empowered women from all walks of life who not only believe in hand-holding and empowering women, but in creating opportunities for both the genders. So today we present a startup workshop, Do More, Be More. Deepanita Jaiswal is the IWN Assam Chapter Chair, National Council Member, Women Empowerment, CII Regional Council Member, MD Brahmaputra Teleproductions Private Limited, which includes the channel DY365, Jonak and NLTV. May I invite her to deliver her welcome address. Ma'am.
Namaskar, good morning, esteemed panelists, speakers, and my dear guests. To commemorate Women's Day, I, on behalf of IWN Assam Chapter members, welcome all for this startup workshop, Do More, Be More. This workshop is an endeavor by IWN Assam Chapter in association with IIM Kolkata Innovation Park, Assam startup The Nest, to inspire and guide all our startup ventures towards how to scale up, do their personal branding, and manage their finances so that they can add value to their knowledge and efforts. Do more, be more. This mantra is the crux of all those who wish to make a mark in their life. From the germination of any project to taking it up the ladder, Dil Mange More has to constantly hum in your heart and mind. I'm sure after this workshop, there will be some guiding points which will benefit the budding and existing startup ventures. Indian Women Network is an integral part of CII, whose constant effort is to create leaders, provide mentoring, and give platform to all those who dream and work towards its realization. There are more than 25 chapters all across India, which is an excellent base for networking and learning. We, the Assam chapter, is a pioneer of organizing the first Women's Day conclave in Guwahati and also the first Women Tourism Conclave. This is just the tip, and we plan to do many more such activities which will add value to all women across the state, professionally as well as personally. Any woman who wishes to join us in this endeavor are most welcome. Today, we have a very good team of panelists and speakers who will share with you their expertise. Everyone present here, please discuss, ask, and develop solutions with them so that you can fine-tune your ventures. I and my IWN team welcome you all once again and wishing all the very best in life. Happy Women's Day. Thank you. Jai Hind.
Thank you, ma'am. We have in our midst Mr. Pranjal Kaur, an accomplished business leader currently serving as the Chief Operating Officer of Assam Startup and IIM Calcutta Innovation Park. Through his continuous efforts to build the startup ecosystem in Northeast India, Mr. Kaur has established himself as a prominent figure in the startup entrepreneurship landscape in the region. His leadership has catalyzed IIM CIP's efforts to provide aspiring entrepreneurs, especially from Northeast India, with the resources and support they need to bring their innovative ideas to life. He brings over 25 years of national, international corporate experience in HR, general management, and operations across diverse industries, such as engineering, FMCG, consultation, to name a few. Pranjal loves to mentor startups and also works in the organizational and personal development space with a special interest in performance enhancement and productivity. May I invite him to deliver the keynote address, sir.
dignitaries, speakers, startups, guests. Let me start off by first welcoming you to Assam Startup, and a very good morning. For many of you who are stepping into this building for the first time, let me spend some time to give you a glimpse about what we do and who we are. Assam Startup is an initiative of the government of Assam to work in the space of startup ecosystem in order to build this ecosystem. This initiative started off in 2018, actually in 2017 with the state government deciding on drawing up the startup policy, and then in 2018 I am Calcutta Innovation Park joining hands with the government to take this initiative forward as a knowledge partner. Though actual work though started in 2019, January of 2019, when this building was inaugurated by the then Chief Minister Sarvananda Sonowal, and the work ensured thereafter. As we started in 2019, we realized that let alone startup, entrepreneur itself was an alien notion in the minds of youngsters across the state. When we started visiting colleges and started talking about entrepreneurship and startup, we realized that for all of these youngsters there, their first choice of engagement, professional engagement, would be government jobs, and if not that, then came private employment, and if the first two did not happen, then came entrepreneurship. So we realized that the best of the minds were anyway not coming into this space where they should be actually, because the initiative was to see the thought of entrepreneurship as an option to regular jobs, because jobs were becoming scarce by the day, and also the notion was that we need more youngsters to step into the entrepreneurial space and be job creators rather than job seekers. So it was a tough journey to start off, but nevertheless we embarked upon that journey. And in the first year, when we did the call for application, we realized that most of the applications were coming from in and around Guwahati or Kamrup Metro to that effect. But as we moved forward, what we did was that we went out and did a lot of outreach program. We went to different districts. We connected with youngsters through college engagement programs, through outreach that we did through the DICs there. What we also did there was that we not only engaged with the youngsters, but also got some of the parents to come and attend the programs. And we tried to identify first generation entrepreneurs in those districts and get them there as speakers to tell them about their journey, about their struggle, how did they make it happen. And we realized that people saw them as established entrepreneurs, but people did not understand or realize the kind of difficulties that they would have faced in their entrepreneurial journey to be where they were. But then, there was someone from their district, from their town, who was relatable, who was very near to them, who was real, who was not an Ambani or someone else somewhere far away. These guys were from their own district, and someone who was first generation, someone who was someone like them. That, I think, helped. And we kept on doing this, and over the last 3.5-4 years, we realized that we have covered over 24,000 youngsters. So we have been able to see the thought of entrepreneurship in these, not only in these young minds, but also to an extent in the minds of the parents. And as we move forward this year, we realized that in the last 2 years, we realized that we are not only getting applications from across the state, from far-flung places like Hodia, Dhemaji, Lakhimpur, but we also have startups from places like Sibsagar, Dibrugarh, etc. So this thing is spreading. And thanks to Shark Tank, I think now startup has reached the drawing rooms of people, which has also helped our cause. And I think this is firing up the youngsters to try out. As we have been telling them, there is no harm in trying out. This is the best time to actually start up. I mean, there is the kind of support system that people, youngsters have from the ecosystem partners, whether it be from the angels or from mentoring agencies or from institutes like us who help to handhold these young minds to foray into the business that they have thought for themselves. So this is the best time that that's been there for entrepreneurs to start off. But as we move forward, we also realized that when it came to women entrepreneurs or women startups, the numbers were not very encouraging from an India perspective. And hence, Startup India which is the governing body for all state initiative across the country, in the state's ranking framework, created a point wherein they wanted to push the government and the state initiatives to drive entrepreneurship with regards to women in their respective states. And that was and we realized that suddenly in that space, we didn't have to do anything. We were anyway, excelling. And as I speak to you, of all the startups that we have incubated or are incubating, 28% accounts for women startups, women-led startups, or women co-founded startups, and that is one of the highest number in the country. We are followed by Goa. And of course, in our category B is for the rest of Northeast except for Assam and the Union Territories, and there, of course, the other tribal states are there. They would also be at a similar number, if not more. But in the category where rest of India and Assam comes in, I mean, we are leading there. So, but I don't think we should stop there. I think, we should go forward and push this number to go higher up. We at Assam Startup would be happy when we reach a plane where that numbers become equal, 50-50. That is the aspiration that we hold in terms of pushing the envelope and taking that number up. To talk about slightly about few numbers, I know, we are hard pressed for time and I've been given 5 minutes. I don't know how much I have already used up, but our startups have been able to also get follow-on fundings and move out of Northeast and start working in states outside Northeast. So what is the number? It is close to 50 CR or 52 CR of funding that they have raised. We have David with us today. He will be part of the panel in a while. So David is one of our success stories from our first cohort. We started in 2019, January of 2019. He started off in November, December of 2018. So we can say that he's a fresh baked cookie out of the engineering college. He decided to make what was his final year project into a business and then take it forward. He would be best judged to tell us as to how much of help we have been, but I believe that we have been able to help him, and we feel proud about that. For the mere fact that he has not only moved out of Assam and started 4 factories in Pune, he's moving into Hyderabad. He is one of those startups who have been funded by the DLF family office and the founder of Zerodha, which is one of the largest unfunded unicorns in the country. So that has been his story, and he's just moving on, surging ahead. He will be, next in Hyderabad and where not. So all the best to you for that. And as I end, some thoughts that I would like to leave is that yes, it's important to celebrate International Women's Day, but why? Why can't we celebrate it every day, right? That is something that that is my personal view with regards to any day. I think we need these days when there is a challenge, and I think way back in the days when the disparity was fairly high, and in Europe they decided to start this day, and I think it was very important then to create that ecosystem, that environment where women get opportunities to stand equally side by side with their male counterparts. But today, I think we should celebrate this day every day. And as I end, I would like to just leave you with this personal note that I wasn't aware of International Women's Day till 2007, till the day my daughter was born. She was born on International Women's Day, and since then, whether I like it or not, but I have to celebrate it because I do celebrate her birthday, and by virtue of doing that, I end up celebrating International Women's Day at a personal level as well. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, sir. Coming up next is a panel session on the topic, Do More, Be More. May I now invite our esteemed panelists to the dais. First, I would like to welcome and introduce Ms. Niladri Gogoi, an entrepreneur who has spent over 2 decades in the watch industry, has navigated the competitive world of luxury timepieces, and built a reputation for quality and exceptional customer service. She is the owner of Times Square Watches and more and Casio exclusive stores. Over the years, she, along with her better half, started several businesses in various fields in the IT sector and Skill Entrepreneurial Management Program under Skill India, each one a testament to their vision, drive, and business acumen. She is the director of Vintage Academy of IT and Management Studies, MGS EduSkills, and MAC Lachit Nagar, a leading animation institute in India. Niladri is currently the co-founder of Ryan's Farms, LLP, which specializes in raising and breeding pigs as livestock, and founder of Ripe Farm, Goodness Bottled Up, a startup that specializes in organic and healthy value-added products like jam, pickle, and juice. Ma'am, may we have you on the dais, please? We also have in our midst Roona Rafiq, a mother of 2, dedicated to forsake a cushy job as a senior manager in an Assam government enterprise and turned an entrepreneur 2 years ago. She set up a firm, Blue Planet Amalgamated, in partnership with her brother, Nuzum Rahman Hazarika. Under this banner, she set up her poultry farm, Saraigat Farm, at Atiaboy village in Kamrup district. Roona hails from a middle-class Muslim family of Dibrugarh. Her husband, Rahul Mahanta, Associate Professor of Physics in Cotton University, is supportive of her work. The beauty of entrepreneurship is freedom, the freedom which allows you to look into possibilities, says Roona. She follows the scientific method of vaccination, medication, the feed, and gradually equipped herself with the technical schemes. Ma'am, may I have you on the stage, please? We have in our midst Mr. Rituraj Fukan, founder and chief marketing strategist of Pencil Design Studio. He has more than 10 years of experience and exposure working in the sphere of branding and marketing communications design in Northeast India and particularly in Assam. His creative agency, Pencil Design Studio, currently provides branding and communication design services through graphic design, animation, and copywriting to startups, government organizations, and private business entities. He and his team have worked on MyRight projects with clients like GNRC Hospitals, the Indian Institute of Entrepreneurship, to name a few. With his deep interest in human psychology and advertising, he has also worked as a marketing consultant to assist the founders of small and medium enterprises in Assam. Thank you for joining us today. May we have you on the dais, please? May I now invite Mr. David Gogoi, a civil engineer who was given 2 choices in life, whether to join a very good company or create his own. He decided to go for the latter. He, along with 2 of his college friends, college friends, started a venture which was in their final year project to make lightweight bricks using 70% waste, industrial fly ash waste and waste plastic. Without any prior experience in business and being a first-generation entrepreneur, starting something of his own straight from college was tough initially, but with resilience and best use of resources available, they have a brand called Zerund, which is one of the leading sustainable building material company in India, and have sales all over Northeast India, Bengal, and Maharashtra. They are catering to clients like PWD Assam, NRL, L&T, to name a few. Their story has been featured in Forbes India, Economic Times, Your Story. Glad to have you in our midst. Please come to the dais. Thank you, sir. The session will be moderated by Dr. Shriparna Barua. Dr. Shriparna Barua is a development professional with 33 years of work experience in management education and in small and medium enterprise development. Dr. Barua was associated with the Indian Institute of Entrepreneurship as head for industrial extension and as a director, IC. She is currently associated with NEHHDC and Advisory Livelihood and Entrepreneurship Forum. She is a multi-awardee and received a Lifetime Achievement Award for her contribution to the field of entrepreneurship development and livelihood from National Foundation of Entrepreneurship Development on 8th March 2022. May I welcome Dr. Barua on the dais. I hand over to ma'am to conduct the session. Thank you.
A very good morning to all present here. Lovely having a group of dynamic entrepreneurs here, and to sort of moderate a session, which is close to my heart, because whenever I talk about entrepreneurship, particularly women entrepreneurs, is something I like to give my time, energy, everything for women, not only to start, but also to scale up. That's more important than anything else. Now, this panel discussion, as IWN, we are celebrating the International Women's Day. But even more, ironic is today is supposed to be the 6th March is supposed to be the International Day of the Unemployed. So, we are talking about entrepreneurship, and here is also a 6th March on the date on which we are doing is the year for the unemployed, has a lot of significance to what we are wanting, what the entrepreneurs here are going to say. And secondly, normally whenever we have a women entrepreneurship workshop or a panel, it's always only women coming and sitting. So this time we thought, why entrepreneurship is gender agnostic? You have to go through the same trails as a man or a woman. So here we have two men also sharing their experiences, just to break the barrier that it doesn't necessarily mean that when we talk about women, it only has to be a women entrepreneur coming and talking about it. Glad to have this panel discussion, and particularly, especially David and Rituraj. I've seen their journey, both of them. I've seen how they have grown, and I feel that that's a perfect example of understanding not only to start, but also to scale up. So here, to all the panelists, we have about 40-45 minutes time, and in this time, we would like to devote to 3-4 rounds of question answer, so that we try to make the panel as interesting as possible. The first question, which I would like to put across to all the panel members, is why did you think about starting on your own? It's a big choice, particularly when you say that, you have a choice of getting a job. I know Rituraj was my student, and he was, as an entrepreneur, he would have easily got a job somewhere. David, of course, we know that he could have. I do not know so much, but I'm sure Niladri, Runa, all of you could have thought about taking about. Why did you think about? So there's a common question, about 2 to 3 minutes each. If you could react to this question, we can go in any order. Maybe we come from Niladri first. Yeah.
Thank you so much for this warm introduction, Basavi. And I also like to thank Shriparna Ma'am Burwa for inviting me here. It's an honor to be here amongst the distinguished panel of experts. My journey, entrepreneurial journey, has seen 15-16 glorious years. We are into watch industry. We are basically the distributors for Casio, the Japanese brand Casio products for the entire Northeast for the last 25 years. And then I run a IT and Management Institute as well. My startup journey has begun during the COVID times. During the COVID pandemic has had a significant impact on our businesses. It has put a strain on the business finances. We are manpower extensive. So we had to look over, there were overhead costs, the store rentals. We had multiple watch stores in different locations in Guwahati. And the manpower expenses, the salaries, we have to look into all these families. And COVID has taught us a lot. COVID has taught us the importance of community, the importance of being prepared, the importance of being adaptable. So what we did was we began exploring multiple alternative business startup examples, and we were like brainstorming, and we were doing extensive research on our idea. So, and then we had finally ended up and zeroed in our piggery farm, which is in Sonapur. We have somewhere around 700 pigs and 200 piglets. We have growers, we have breeders, we have fatteners, and then which is a year old. And then we are like, not thinking about, it's almost 5 months. I've started up my food processing unit, which is named as Farm Ripe Goodness Bottled Up. We do extensively organic product. We locally source it. I run my car, randomly visit any villages which I find which is viable, and then I bring up my products, and that's how I started off my Farm Ripe journey. Thank you.
Thank you. Aruna, I think the mic is there. You could specifically say, why did you think about starting your business?
Thank you that I didn't have to be helped by a man. Thank you. It's such an honor to be sitting here. I have been mentored here by Pranjal Kumar sir. I am part of the third cohort of Assam Startup. And it feels a little bit like a growth that I'm sitting here, sir. So for long 20 years, I was in the development sector. My last job was as a head of Northeast for an international NGO. And when I used to go around the length and breadth of the Northeast, it struck me very hard that we have left what we are strong at. We have left agriculture. We have stopped doing agriculture. We have stopped producing food for ourselves. In spite of the fact that we have so much land, so much water, and even human resources to help us. And I thought that this was a waste, and I thought that people like us who should come into farming. And ma'am, that was the reason I came into farming. And so I resigned from a job which was very comfortable. You know, when you are at a job for 10 years, you kind of achieve a very comfortable position. You achieve authority as well, and then you become very comfortable. And then I thought that I was so comfortable that it felt like I was dying. I was so secured in my job in that international NGO that I thought that if I don't jump out of it now, there'll be no challenges for me left. So I'm a very late entrepreneur. My husband sometimes tells me that you started your adventure late. You started when you were 20s, not in your 40s. But I did. I started at 40. I thought I could, and I did. So when I turned 40, actually, I left my job 4 or 5 years back. I resigned, and I came into agriculture with a purpose to bring value to agriculture in Assam, to make people notice, people of the young generation to notice that agriculture is what we have, is something that we need to look into seriously, that unless we produce food for ourselves in a land which allows to produce food, other things seem a little bit superficial to me actually. So it is with this thought in mind that I came into agriculture 4 years back.
Thank you so much. Entrepreneurship has no age. In fact, I had written something on my blog on starting your business at 60, 50. And as they say, you know, KFC is something where the founder had started at 65 years, right? So there is no age. So this is another lesson. At any point of your time, you can think about starting. So can we go to Rituraj now?
Thank you for having me here, and happy Women's Day. Why is an interesting question. In fact, today morning I asked my wife, why do you think I have opted to do my own business? She said, Khujoti. Even so much was the itch in me, I just quitted my job just prior to 1 month prior to my marriage, because I always wanted to do something of it. With no specific reason, just wanted to do it. But I recall back the seed was germinated in my heart in 2005 during my degree second year. So there's a very short story to it I'd like to explain. So I was very pally with both the batches, you know, seniors and juniors. One day, one of my senior was crying just beside the wall while I was walking. Then I saw and went up to him and asked, his name was Gitul, okay? Gitulda, what happened? He said, I have a family marriage function coming, and I don't have money because his father is paralyzed. My sister has asked for new dresses. Okay, fine. How much do you think you need? He said around $2,000. And that time we are surviving ourselves on pocket money, right? So I did something. I conceptualized, that time in Umananda, golden language were introduced. So I conceptualized it, meetup. Let's go to Umananda, have some fun there. We'll talk about golden language. We'll chit-chat among ourselves. Interestingly, all my juniors and seniors, not all, most of them came together. Okay, in that meetup, after the meetup, we end up saving around $1,600 instead of 2,000. I handed over the $1,600 to Gidulda. He cried and hugged me. That moment, I realized I should be doing marketing or advertising somewhere. So that was my why.
Thank you so much. We go to David.
First of all, thank you for having me, and happy Women's Day to all. I mean, regardless of the gender and everything. And hello, hi everyone. So my journey starts in college lab. So I, along with my two co-founders, we were doing this college final lab where we were assigned to do something innovative and something out of the box. So then we the founders always thought that we wanted to do something of our own, and when we are wanting to do something of our own, we wanted to do in this thing that we have studied. We are civil engineers, not were, sorry. We are civil engineers, and we wanted to do something in the civil engineering domain itself. So, 22, 23 years old bunch of kids, college kids, not knowing what is going to happen in their career, what is there in their new times to come. So we jump into this craziness of entrepreneurship, as they say, the craziness of entrepreneurship. We go around in the market, we get dejections all the time, and being so young, so people always had the sympathy and always had the speculation always behind us. But I think we were growing maturely in terms of business as well. We somehow had this grit in our mind that we have to do something of our own, and this is it. I mean, when maybe I'm speaking about 2018, when we were starting up, and towards the end of 2018, we were quite getting sure that this is it. I mean, I remember my father during those times, we used to appear those PWD exams, PNRD exams. So my father used to fill up my form, and he used to send me the forms that go and apply for this job. Then I used to say to my father that yes, I have applied for my job. I have gone and given the interview, which I never did. I just took the question papers from my friends, and I just told that these questions were there in the exams. And always he used to ask, why are you failing all the time in the exams? So this has been a crazy journey, though then really good things happen. I mean, in the whole Guwahati ecosystem also we got some really good support. I mean, support is here itself. Niladji Gohai's husband, Mr. Raja Gohai, he and his friend Ali Muhammad Saqib, both of them invested around 20 lakh rupees very initially. They happened to be our college seniors, so they had that emotional touch to us. So initially, I mean, we also had done some really good homework. I mean, we knew the business. We had taken a factory on lease. So we had done at least 20 to 30% of the homework. So then they also were convinced enough to invest that money, and so the ecosystem had also helped us to garner where we are today. So and then Assam startup and ecosystem like this came up. The IIM Calcutta Innovation Park came up immediately, as Pranjal sir had mentioned. So starting off the college immediately and starting the business, we get enrolled into Assam startup. So it was, I mean, when I speak about my journey, so I would say we have been lucky enough to be present in the best times, in the best places with the best people. So I think that has really worked wonders for us. So that is where we have been doing this crazy stuff, and currently when I speak today, so we are a company which has been funded by organizations like DLF Family Office, Zerodha, Netfee. We have combined raised around 14 to 15 crores. We are closing this year around 16 crores, and next year we have a projected revenues of more than 50 crores. So we are present in northeast of India, Bengal and Maharashtra. We are expanding to Hyderabad, Bangalore and Delhi in the next quarter. So we have this big dream, and just 2 days back I was in Hyderabad speaking to our investors down there. So I see, I mean, it's a part of the narrative and it's a part of the subject matter where I see the difference between people from there. I mean, no offense to anyone, people from there and people from here. So people out there are not scared about speaking about big dollars. I mean, they're not scared about, I mean, this investor directly tells me that 3 years may you do revenues of 200 crores, we go to IPO, we are doing this listing. I mean, we have never heard these things in Guwahati. Why we have not heard these things in Guwahati? So I want this ecosystem to speak these kind of things. And these people have really done it. So I want people from here also to speak these big dollars, and this is totally achievable. And I think Best of luck to everyone. Everyone and anyone is going to do that and going to achieve that. Yeah. Thanks.
Surely. She would like to, Niladri would like to add something, but David, maybe you can also later talk about what exactly, because people may not be knowing what exactly you are doing, right? So next question, maybe you should talk, because everyone has seen your brick by now.
Yes, I would like to add something with David. When David and his friends were approached us, we saw the drive and the zeal. So we do not invest hopelessly. We saw the drive in David. We know our money was not going aimlessly anywhere. So that's how we invested with David.
Right. So we have the second round of question. We do not go in any order. Whoever would like to can speak, address the question. The second is, something who has not talked about your journey, little bit about your journey, the common challenges that you have faced in your journey. As a woman, if you have faced any specific problem as a woman, as any particular challenge, or overall as an entrepreneur, what are the common challenges and how has been your journey so far? What has been the facilitating factors? What are the deterrents? Something like that from your journey. If you want to speak something about your journey also, you could do that. Anyone. Particularly, I will ask Rituraj also, because what you do exactly. People need to know about what exactly you do, because getting into something which is at the concept stage and then taking it forward is not an easy journey.
All right. So my business category does not fall under startup. Okay, we are a traditional business style. But what we do, we help a lot of startups. So the question is the common challenges that faced by entrepreneurs. One of the very acute problem that I faced, I would like to talk about is the cash flow. Cash flow and the payment retrieval. Because when I started, out of the jaws, I overcommitted in doing things. And a lot of clients, one client particularly, I remember he introduced himself as DIG. I thought he must be police. He said, I am a double income group. Anyways, this was fun. So he gave me the first assignment. He has a parlor. I worked for a month. When the payment time came, I asked, my price was around 40,000 for the kind of work we put. He said, "Arey Baba, this is too much. Let me pay you 5,000. 40,000 mein to main Kolkata, Delhi ghum ke bhi aa jaunga. Mera kaam ho jayega." So that day I cried. I took the 5,000 because I had nothing. That day I learned I have to be smart enough about asking the payment terms. All right. So this is very important in any business. And also whenever a startup comes to us, we are a creative agency. We help startups through branding, communication designs, from logo to how to make customers fall in love with them, right? My first question is, what is your traction? Have you sold anything? If they say no, we have not sold anything, I said, we are not your service provider. I cannot just make you a logo design which will make you popular, right? So that was very important for us. Sequentially, I put more effort in correcting the cash flow syndrome. After COVID, we almost now work on 100% advance. It is very important. My quote is, anything less than 1 lakh rupees, you have to give 100% advance. Because I have families to feed, right? Then also, it's very difficult, sometimes you would find clients, they would defer their payment. Okay, Kaile dim, Poroki dim, okay. We adopted a different strategy. Now I write poems to my client, asking for payment. Okay, they would laugh. They would immediately say, okay, I'll pay you. I would then again threaten them. If not, I'll send you another poem. So what I did, I mentally broke the way payment is asked. Okay, I become more entertaining in asking my payment. And believe me, when the payment cash flow is taken care of, people, other things are well taken care of. Okay, so that was my one point that I would request you to be focused on your cash flow. And please don't shy away for asking about your payments, right? Thank you.
Yeah, speaking about challenges, of course, this is a very tough journey. So this is not the conventional way of doing things. So it has always been tough, and especially coming from this middle class Assamese family. So you always have a backward integration when your parents try to pull you back to not do these kind of things. So that is always there. But these are, I think, these are more than challenges. These are opportunities, because you don't have good success stories here. So there's a big gap where I think anyone who is doing good gets recognized. So today I'm sitting here, maybe getting recognized. So people doing good stuff get recognized, and now startup and entrepreneurship have become so fancy that now people have suddenly made heroes out of entrepreneurs. I mean, I don't really remember when India started moving out of Bollywood heroes or cricket stars and started making the entrepreneurs as heroes. So these are really wonderful times, as Pranjal said. So these are really wonderful times to start up in India. So that is there. I think I would say when challenges are there, I think on a daily basis we have challenges. I mean, this is part and parcel of the business. I mean, challenges today also, I know straight out of here, I know what are the problems that I'm going to solve today. Today from the meeting, these are the glitz and glamours that are there, but immediately going out of the meeting, I know what are the problems that I'm facing and what are the problems that I'm going to immediately solve. But one thing that I think really defines a successful person, maybe entrepreneur or whoever maybe, from a normal person, is that it's the pace in which you bounce back, you know. So the problems and challenges are meant to come. In fact, today I'm sitting here and today I am very happy when I get challenges, when I get problems. When I don't get problems, then I get more tensed. I mean, are we not doing well? I mean, how is it going to be so easy? I mean, why am I not getting complaints? Why am I not getting issues? This is not going to be easy. So whenever we are getting challenges, so I think that's the best thing is that how fast you bounce back. The challenges are meant to come. So you have to be very resilient enough and rightly said, I think you have to build that crocodile skin. Anything and everything comes and hits you, like Rituda rightly said, that person was not willing to pay money. So these kind of things are going to hit you any day and every day. I mean, even if you are earning, say a 10 lakh rupees of business, and even if you are earning 1,000 crore rupees of business, I mean, these things are meant to come any day and every day. So, but the thing is that you have to build that crocodile skin. You have to take bullets on your chest, and you have to bounce back. That's how you have to grow.
Yeah, the lesson learned is possibly that, learning to be comfortable with the uncomfortable. Yeah, learning to be comfortable with the uncomfortable. The moment you're doing that, that means that you are ready to take up more and more challenge. That's my experience dealing with entrepreneurs over 3 decades, right? Because I think...
Just one more minute. I don't think I have not mentioned about what we do. I'm speaking about what we are doing. So we are this sustainable construction material tech company. We have been regarded as one of the fastest growing sustainable construction tech company in whole of India. So we make this, we are into walling solution. We make this lightweight bricks out of 70% waste. It's our own proprietary technology. We have patents pending for this product. These are made up of industrial waste and waste plastics. And we are into other products like the adhesive used to join these mortars. We are into premix, which we are sending into the lightweight brick manufacturing units. So we are into that, and now we have just recently started a R&D center in Navi Mumbai. So where we have tied up with Dow Chemicals. So there we are starting something into road technology. We are getting into road tech. We are doing R&D into road tech. So that is what basically we do at this point of time.
Thank you so much. Can we come to Runa?
You know, ma'am, when I hear people like David and Niladri Gohai speak, and Rituraj, of course, I feel I'm not doing much, you know. But then it's also about what I am doing myself and how you make meaning of things yourself. What I do makes meaning. I have tried to make meaning of farming. And when I left my job, as I mentioned, in 2018, I just resigned and said, I'm gone. So I thought that agriculture was in my mind, and I knew that I had to do something in agriculture, but what? And then I looked around and I saw that piggery is one thing we could do in the Northeast. There is a huge market. Pigs are coming by truckloads into the region from outside. And so I started immediately. I asked my brother if he would help me, and he said yes. And so we both got together. He was there as more as an investor than anything. And I started building a pig farm. When I completed the construction, I realized I'm a Muslim woman. But then it was too late. You know that this woman thing, it doesn't strike me very often. I think that's been a blessing. I am hardly thinking about it when I'm working. And sometimes I think if we should use this terminology at all, but then I know we should, because I am a very small minority of people and I know that this sector is full of males mostly. So we do need it to think of women entrepreneurs, but that's how I started. I started with a pig farm. But then the COVID came. The pig farm was picking up when the COVID came, and then African swine fever came. And just on the second anniversary of my farm was gone. So I had a big loan, and then I had a big debt of feed, because pigs consume a lot of feed. She would know. And with that big debt, my farm was gone. The government culled my pigs because we contracted the African swine fever, and all the pigs were killed and put into a hole, you know. It was, they brought a JCB, killed all the pigs and put them into the hole. And gave me a compensation, which was not much, because most of the pigs had died by then. So it was like that. The pig farm came to an end within 2 years. And then I thought, what now? Because there was this infrastructure, there was everything. Then I thought, let me try with poultry. But I didn't have the skills. So I again learned. And then I came up, now the work that I am doing, it's a work in progress, but it's surely a work, is we make antibiotics-free broiler chicken. So I have realized that antibiotics in broiler chicken is a big issue. It is one of the most, antibiotic resistance is one of the 10 most important medical challenges. You know, we saw in COVID how we don't have medicines enough. So that's the same with antibiotics. We have only a fixed number of antibiotics. And when we are not careful with the use of antibiotics, when we abuse antibiotics, then we don't have really anything to save us when we are diseased. We come across times when we go to the doctor and this antibiotics does not work. Why? Because we have grown resistant to it. So it's a very serious issue, and we do not realize it in India, because we need to have protein, and broiler is a chief form of protein in India, so the government does not regulate much. But having come to know this, I decided that I'll grow antibiotics-free broiler chicken, and that's the business that I'm doing now. So that is what I do, ma'am. And besides that, I have realized, as I was working, I realized that one of the, why places like Assam, which have so much livestock, why don't we do well in livestock? Why don't we have people who are earning well through livestock? It's because we do not have the skills. We do not consider it necessary to train ourselves, to acquire the skills. So the second initiative that I have taken up under Blue Planet Amalgamated is to start a small scale livestock farmers, our livestock training institute. So that is the second initiative I have just started. And the third initiative that I have started is to lead a group of farmers. They are a cluster of 700 farmers. I'm leading them now. They are very productive. They are in Hajo area of Kamrup. And now I'm going to help them with the marketing and also the products. So this is my third initiative. So these are the three things that I do. And the challenges are immense, I think. But it's also very interesting, you know, being an entrepreneur, there is no competition, you know, in a sense. Because what you are doing is novel. What you are doing is new. I came across these three products of mine, the antibiotics-free chicken, the training institute, the plan to help these farmers, because they were not, we need this. So I have this goal, this vision to help in all these sectors. This is my solution to the problems that I see. And the beauty of this is that there is I don't see any competition to it. And I think that is the biggest advantage we have.
Yeah, you've identified the right pain point.
Yeah.
Right? So you're addressing that. So I think, thank you so much. A very important point is that you said is you don't think yourself to be a woman most of the time when you start working. I think that's the key lesson, take away from, you know, when we are looking at, do we need women entrepreneurs? Do we look at women entrepreneurship from a different side? Yes, for a time period we need. At the same time, the country also needs more women entrepreneurs. Because 50% of the population is women. Till the time women come up with large numbers and they scale up, the country will not progress. That's the other reality. So, it's a question of not only starting, but, the example what she's given is do more and with the theme is and become more. That's it. Keep doing and you keep on scaling up. That is the key, right?
Ma'am, it gives me immense thrill, to see that I lead 700 men farmers. It's so fantastic. And I feel very empowered by this. So these are the plus points. But there are so many difficulties, so many challenges which are always there, which will always be there. But this is the journey we have chosen. So we cannot complain about it.
And it's even more breaking the barrier. It's also, all the time, it's not just women who are getting into handloom and handicraft. That's a big thing. And pickle making and, small things like that. It is time that, we need to break this barrier too. Yes, Niladri, would like to hear more from you, your challenges. What is it that you...
I would like to add with Runa, the biggest, I won't go round and round with challenges. Challenges were many. But the biggest challenge in my piggery sector was the outbreak, disease outbreak. We knew that the pigs are very susceptible to diseases like the ASF, African swine flu. You cannot help it if a pig has swine flu, which we do not see. It's an unseen disease. So this is the biggest, and once the outbreak starts, it is devastating for a pig farm. When you have so much money involved, when you have invested a lot of money, like Runa, all her pigs were culled, even NRCP, like the National Research Center for Pigs, even they were not saved from this disease. So for this, if you go back and if you see, I won't brag myself too much, but I have a piggery which is a very solid infrastructure. I have taken care and prevented we have taken a lot of safety measures as in biosecurity, sanitation, hygiene, and our STP is in our agenda. So, and the other challenge is the feed management. Feeding pigs can be really expensive, really, really expensive. At the same time, we cannot compromise on the feed. We cannot compromise on the, quality control. We have to feed the pigs. The pigs has different stages. Even the baby has to be fed differently. A grower has to be fed differently. And so we have to manage the cost as well as the quality of the feed to ensure health and growth of pigs. These are very challenging. And the third challenge is the manpower management. People can be really unpredictable. Managing people and having a proper structure of people working in your farm is very, very challenging. These are the challenges I am sure everyone must be facing. Manpower management. We need to learn a lot about manpower management. We're still zero in it. That's it.
Thank you, Niladri. I think the last round, just a 1 or 2 minutes round, because we need to wrap up also. Any thing that I have left out in questioning, or any advice or any last comment that you would like to do, particularly in context of scaling up? Any specific thing?
Scaling up, I won't say much about scaling up. I'm still new. I'm learning. Every day is a learning experience. We need to, learn the art of resilience, because startup every day is very challenging. Every day can be very discouraging when your money is involved. So you need to come out of it, keep the faith and keep working harder, stay passionate and focused. That's it.
Yeah.
With respect to my business, scaling, because startups are very disrupting, Their method of scaling up is very different, fast, very clutter breaker. My method of scaling was people. Good people. It started, today is a very excellent day how we scaled up, and because of whom we scaled up. Because of one of such person is Siparna ma'am. Today is Women's Day, I would like to say that. Siparna ma'am gave me the first break when I left my job and did it. Second, one of my client is also a woman. We worked on their branding. Third, there is a phase when I was about to go back home, but one woman held my hand and she gave us support, and we could really do very well from that point. That was Bornali ma'am. She was again introduced by Siparna ma'am. So in this Women's Day, I'm very proud because of people from this ecosystem, I could scale up gradually. And by doing it more and doing it longer, right now I have reached a point where I feel good Thank God I did not return back to home. And because of the right people, I am here. So please don't ignore the kind of people you have in your life, right? So, thank you.
Real good words of wisdom, how relationship is important in business, how resilience is important in business, how a never say die attitude is important in business. And that I think David can say very well, the never say die attitude.
Yeah, I think when we speak about scaling up, so first of all, when we speak about scaling up, we should speak about big dreams, you know. Whenever we are not talking about big dreams, how can we scale up? So I mean, don't shy away from, as I already spoke, don't shy away from speaking about big dollars. Don't shy away from speaking about obnoxious thing. So that should be there. I mean, it should be a calculated thing. I mean, that is there. Calculative approach should be there. Calculative measures should be there. Then keeping all those things in mind, and one more thing I would really want to focus on whenever we are into business, I mean, irrespective of personal or irrespective of the business, is frugality. I mean, frugality is something which people should really follow. I mean, you should be very frugal enough whenever you are using each and every penny of your money. I mean, money in the bank, or you have X amount of money in the bank doesn't mean this is disposable cash. So you have to be frugal enough whenever you are using that cash. As Rituda already said, having a good idea about cash flows. So having all of this better idea, I think building a good team is very important. We should not, one thing is very important, we should not hire cheap. I have also faced a lot of problems when I went to hire cheap. So and when we hire cheap, the people are also cheap. So that is true. I mean, don't be frugal enough. Yeah, don't be frugal enough when you are hiring good people. So that is there. So team is something which really builds your business. I mean, you as a founder have hundreds of other things to do. Now today I'm sitting here and discussing about this thing. I cannot go and discuss about what was the sale last day, what was the sale day before yesterday. I just go and see what was the sale last 15 days. And if the sales team is not doing good work, then I have to motivate them to do good work in the next 15 days. So as a founder, you have to be a good motivator as well. You have to be the base salesman in your team. So building all of these things, and I think you can grow your business. And one more thing, you have to be hands-on. So one of my founder, he stays in the factory. So he has built a small room in the factory. He stays there. He does all the things. Does always early morning 8 a.m. meetings every day, never failing. And I call him the chief labor officer. He is not the chief operating officer. He is the chief labor officer. And I call myself the chief lecturer officer. So that is there. I think as an entrepreneur, as a businessman, you have to be the best salesman and the best motivator in your team. Yes.
So wonderful words of advice, words of wisdom, which has come from experience. And I think for all the entrepreneurs who are here, aspiring as well as existing, these are lessons to take back from. You will never get this in any book that you read, because when you hear from someone who's actually done it and who've experienced, I think that's nothing more than that. We come to the end of the panel discussion, but being an International Women's Day, I would request all women to come up in more numbers. Look at scaling up, because you have to emerge as winners. We have to understand that at the end of the day, it is not just starting and doing something. Your aspiration also has to be there. Often we say women have there's an aspiration deficit often in women. Happy doing something very little that at least I'm earning. We should come out of the mindset to be taken seriously. It's like a chicken and egg problem, where you say, when the external barriers are broken, women will come up in large numbers. The other side of the thing is, when women come up, only then the external barriers are going to be broken. So we need to break this, come out in large numbers, not just start, but also scale up. We'll be felicitating all our panelists here. Before I end, because since it's DY365 is partnering, I'm happy that DY365 is partnering, because not for anything else, this will go great ways, and larger audience would get an access to what has been discussed today.